I'm Lisa Gross. I'm a mortgage banker with People's Bank. Oh gosh, I remember the day when we first met, and just in conversation and telling me about your course, you said something about setting yourself apart from your competition, or working with people to help them set themselves apart. And I know as a mortgage banker, that is a challenge. There's mortgage bankers on every corner promoting, they have the best rates, or we can close your loan on time, and people just tune that out eventually. So it's a real challenge for me to learn new ways of setting myself apart from my competitors. So that's what I was looking for. My favorite part was the time spent alone, working on the exercises and really analyzing what I'm doing and why. I tend to be overcommitted, and I don't take a lot of time out for myself to really think about what's most important to me and who I am. And just working through those exercises and looking at some things in a new way for me, both personally and professionally. When I first signed up for this class, if I had understood that there was exercises to work on and a process to go through that might take a little time outside of the time we spent together, I don't think I would have committed to it. And I would have really missed out. Because looking back now, it did take some extra time, but it was so worth it. I am that person that you talked about in your workshop, the little gerbil on the wheel, just running, trying to be all things to all people. And I've been in that mode for so many years. And I'm just at a point in my life where I am tired of doing things that way, and it's not productive. When you're tired and you're exhausted and you're just emotionally spent, you're drained, that doesn't attract people to you. So taking that time out to do this helped me understand, first of all, that I have some value that I bring to the table, and because of that, I don't have to be all things to all people. That's been huge for me. I know that what I bring to my clients is valuable, and I have a new confidence in that. So I don't have to please everyone 100% of the time. I just have to be the best me that I can be. And recognizing that and having confidence in that is really liberating. So I'm off the gerbil wheel.
And you're attracting what you're wanting.
And I am. So the benefits have been just overwhelming. I'm amazed that with less time, less concern, less stress, I'm realizing more business and just powerful results. My brand mantra, this is not the mantra I would have thought it was going to be before we worked through the process, but after working through all the exercises together and really looking at things, the mantra I came up with was joyful, supportive advocate. And I love that because joy is how I want to live my life, and really what I'm about, what I want to impart to everyone that I meet, friends, family, coworkers, and my clients. And supportive advocate is who I am in my personal life and especially in my business. So I have the opportunity every day to really support and advocate for my clients. So when I'm feeling a little discouraged, or I'm kind of, in the muckety muck of problems that you encounter at work, those words will oftentimes just come floating to the surface and inspire me to do what I really want to do. Oh gosh, I could tell you so many stories already. In only a few weeks, I have 3 or 4, maybe 5 stories of how I've just handled situations differently in light of what I've learned. And it's been so positive for me. A favorite example just happened last week. A client called me, and they were pretty locked into working with a competitor, but they're just shopping around. I worked hard to match their deal with the other company, and when I gave them the quote, they said, well, if it's the same deal, we'll probably go with the other lender because that's where we bank and it'll just be more convenient. So in the past, I probably would have just been a little deflated and disappointed and let that go. However, with this new training, I didn't even give it a second thought. I just responded differently than I used to. Immediately I said, that I completely respected their relationship with the other company, but let me tell you what it is in addition to the price that I will have to offer you. And I talked to them about the process and how the personal service I'm going to give them and the way that I'm going to advocate for them and make the process easier for them. And they're not going to be dealing with the call center that the other company has. It's really going to be a personal experience. And when I explained that to them in the context that I learned from this course, their reaction was immediate and surprising to me. It didn't take them but a moment to change their minds and commit to working with me. The same principles that I'm learning to incorporate into my business, I'm also incorporating into my personal life. And really choosing my priorities differently. I'm choosing not to allow anything or anyone in my life that is not in alignment with my values. And I'm also choosing my priorities and taking time out for myself. I've actually scheduled time in at the gym 3 days a week, and that's something I've always wanted to do for myself, but just could never make myself a priority in my schedule. So my husband's benefiting because my schedule has time in there for him as well, and I'm just healthier, happier, and more balanced in my life.
And because of this work, it seems like because you're becoming more in alignment with yourself, the stress load is different. Does it feel different? Is the energy different?
Very much so. Very much so. I would say the shift has been noticeable to my husband and others around me, and I'm just happy. I'm just really happy. Absolutely do it. Don't prejudge what you think it might be, because this experience was not at all what I thought I was getting into. It was something much more valuable than I initially anticipated. I'm so grateful that I did it at the time that I did, and I would encourage any other solopreneur to just go into it with an open mind and don't miss the opportunity. In addition to the exercises that we did on our own, when we came together and shared the results of those exercises, I did benefit a lot just from hearing the other very dynamic women in our group and the lessons they were learning. I think we all benefited from sharing with each other, and of course we bonded. A lot of it becomes very personal, so it was a great experience to do that. I could have picked up a book and worked through those exercises, but I wouldn't have had that same experience that I had by sharing it with the other women that were learning at the same time.